the moment, Manchester City top of the table, 9 points above Chelsea, with the two teams meeting later on today. As for Everton, well, they are just 1 point behind Leicester City, but equal on points with a better goal difference than West Ham. Liverpool only 1 point behind both of those sides. So we're building up to kick-off here at Goodison Park between Everton and Aston Villa. A chance before the teams come out to hear from both head coaches who have been speaking to Steve Bennett.
Brian, we've talked about the small margins last time out. How important is it to get those right today to get your first win here at home?
Yeah, for sure. We need to put everything in where we can to get them on our side.
Same back four as last week. How important is consistency in that back line for you?
Very important, because we haven't had it this season. So yeah, it's nice to put the same four, keeper plus the same four out.
Inma comes back into the team. What can she bring you?
Oh, she brings a lot. Very, dynamic, direct. Yeah, so I'm really excited to see her. She's only been in a couple of days, but we know her quality, and yeah, she's ready to go.
Villa are a well-organised side. What will your message be to your girls ahead of this one?
Yeah, make sure that we, they want to be really aggressive, and hopefully we can use that to our advantage, the spaces that they're leaving. Yeah, if they decide to drop in because they have that back three, back five, then we also need to be good at keeping the ball and moving it well.
Natalia, how important will it be for your team to get a win today and have some consistency in this league?
Yeah, we are coming here to try to get the 3 points, because it's important to try to face these 3 games that we have before the break. Also, for others, they will have like some round in the cup, but for us it's 9 points month. We are facing that starting here. We need a win to stop the last few bad results and to get back to these good feelings. Let's see if we can perform out of possession with this feeling of being solid, not conceding too many chances, being strong when they are having a momentum, and try to build as many chances as possible to be able to dominate the game from the beginning. We will be trying to do that to get the 3 points here away.
Tunes ringing out across Goodison Park. There's slight rainbow in the skies above this ground as the supporters of both sides wait for the 2 sets of players to emerge from the tunnel. It has been difficult for Everton so far in their new home. 6 games played at Goodison Park and 6 defeats so far. The 2 victories that Brian Sorensen has collected this season have come away from home. One of those, though, a rather large scalp and a clean sheet away at Chelsea. Aston Villa losing at home against Manchester United in their most recent home game. Their last away match in the BWSL was against the other Manchester side, and a 6-1 defeat in that game. So quite a few goals conceded by Natalia Arroyo's side in recent league fixtures. A tune that will be very familiar to Everton supporters. We'll welcome the 2 sets of players out onto the pitch. Everton led out by their captain and goalkeeper Courtney Brosnan. Anna Patton, the skipper for Aston Villa.
Welcome to Goodison Park for today's Barclays Women's Super League match against starting with our visitors. Lining up for Aston Villa today, number 1, Sabrina D'Angelo, number 4, Anna Patton, number 6, Orion Jean-Francois, number 13, Maya.
A clear, dry Sunday afternoon.
17, Ebony Salmon, number 18, Georgia Mull, number 20, Kirsty Hansen, number 24, Ocean Delons, number 25.
The conditions pretty good right at the start, of course, of February, this first game of the new month.
Today, number 1 and captain Courtney Brosnan. Number 2, Hannah Bondo.
Everton making just one change from their 1-0 loss here against Brighton under the floodlights on a Friday night. Tony Peng picking up a knock in that match. She's expected to be out for more than today's game. Inma Gabaro starts on her return from a loan at Sevilla.
Number 18, Ornella Vignola. Number 29.
4 changes made by Aston Villa from that home loss against Manchester United last weekend. Sabrina D'Angelo is back in goal. No Ellie Roebuck in the squad at all today. Rachel Maltby comes into defence. Ebony Salmon starts as well, and a first start for Orion Jean-Francois since joining from Chelsea. Aston Villa still missing Rachel Daly. Your referee this afternoon will be Stacey Fullix. She and the 2 captains were briefly in the centre circle, and now both sets of players will collect in a huddle before this match kicks off. Both sides in their home kits, so Everton in their blue, Aston Villa in their claret and blue. Well, they've said everything they need to say for now. Can Everton get a first win at Goodison Park? Can Aston Villa get a bit of consistency? Summariser today is Tash Dowie. And Tash, I suppose from an Everton point of view, there's this extraordinary situation that they're in where they've come to this brand new home ground and they just can't pick up a point. Will that be in the players' minds?
Yeah, absolutely will. I think there was a lot of positive talk at the beginning of the season, moving to Goodison, ownership maybe putting money in, and it just hasn't happened. They have to start winning at Goodison Park, getting the fans behind them more. There was boos last game, which isn't ideal. So this is a must-win, really important win for them today. It has to be.
Played on a Friday evening. Lost by just the single goal against Brighton in their most recent game. Everton is with Aston Villa defence at the moment. Salmon inside her own half. Just 2 players just slightly getting in each other's way there, unintentionally. I think the referee just coming across to check on Claire Wheeler, who I think Kitagawa was the player who might have just struck it at her own player there. Leads to an early drop ball in this game. Now, Kitigawa does find Wheeler with a slightly better pass.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting, the two styles of play between both teams. I think Villa are really attack-minded, counter-attacking, you know, definitely bringing in the likes of Salmon and Hansen as well. I think losing Payne for Everton is a massive blow. They'll try to possess the ball a little bit more and be more patient. So it's going to be fascinating to see the two styles of play coming up against each other.
Chance for Villa to try and edge down that left wing. Kirsty Hansen, of course, will be one of the biggest threats for Aston Villa this afternoon. 7 BWSL goals already this season. She will be a player that Everton's defence will need to keep an eye on.
100%. I think she was the standout player last game for Villa. Yes, they lost 4-1 to United, but she was a constant threat. You know, direct, positive. That's what I love about her. Every time she gets on the ball, she wants to go forward.
Brought down by Vignola. Barrow was chasing it, but now Villa try and play it forward again. This could be an opportunity. Rather calm goalkeeping there, though. Cool and didn't flap at all there.
Yeah, it was nearly a bit of a nightmare there for Everton, a short back pass. But Brosnan, she's going to be really key as well today. One of the players that I wanted to highlight. I think being the captain shows she's a real leader. But I think she's going to have her hands full today. And I was actually interested as well to see how Salmon and Mullet would interchange. But it looks actually like Mullet's gone through the middle and then Salmon's on the wing. So it gives then Villa so much pace down both flanks. And then Mullet then just needs to get herself in the box and on the end of things.
Little touch from Jean-Francois. Now it's back to D'Angelo. There's Ellie Roebuck in goal for most recent game. But D'Angelo back in goal for Italia Roy's side this afternoon. Both of these squads have been hit by injuries, haven't they? Which is a challenge for both managers as well, isn't it? Just dealing with all the issues when it comes to players who are unavailable. Obviously, we know that Kelly Gargo is pushing for a transfer. We're not entirely sure what the outcome of that will be, as the transfer window is very close to closing.
Yeah, it's not ideal for both clubs, to be honest, and for as long as I've known Brian Sorensen to be in charge, I'm not too sure how often he's been able to actually field his strongest 11. You know, every week there seems to be changes. Now your star player wants to leave, then one of your key players, Payne, gets injured, and it's the same for Villa. You know, the interchanging of goalkeepers, it's not ideal. You have to try and build consistency and relationships between players, and you can't do that if week to week it changes.
Well, Brian Sorensen, interviewed before this fixture, asked about the fact that he was managing to select the same 4 players in defence, said, yeah, it was rather rare that he's been able to do that this season. Brosnan comes back to Mace, now with Martina Fernandez. Kitigawa. Hayashi. Back out to Hayashi. Pass was looking for Wheeler.
And again, I think Everton can take a lot of positives, even though the loss against Brighton was disappointing. I watched it, and the passing, it's very good. You know, the build-up play, they're just missing, unfortunately, that number 9, that goal scorer. There was a couple of times that Payne put some great balls into the box, but they just don't have that number 9 to put it in the back of the net. So they can take lots of positives going into this game. But for me, I just feel like today, Villa have a few more threats going forward.
Tony Payne picking up a muscle injury knock in the loss against Brighton, and will miss this block of fixtures, was what we heard from the Everton head coach. As for the Aston Villa head coach, She is not long celebrated her first year in charge at Aston Villa. Took over on the 22nd of January 2025.
I really like her. You know, whenever I've listened to her interviews and her pressers, she seems like a manager that you'd want to play under. You know, full of confidence, you know, makes the players feel like the best players in the world. And yeah, I think it's a really good appointment by Aston Villa.
Ball with Van Hoel. He'll go out past Hannah Blundell, new in January. He's joined on loan from Manchester United, of course, former Chelsea as well. You know, it's an effort from, well, some distance. And the shot from Wilms is watched well wide by Courtney Brosnan in the Everton goal.
Yeah, a little bit surprised with that decision-making by Wilms. Really experienced international player. Yeah, for me, you're never going to score from that distance against a top keeper like Brosnan, so I think she has to be a little bit more patient and look to then create more of an opening there. But you don't shoot, you don't score, so I don't mind the positivity, but I think there was better options.
Came to Aston Villa from Wolfsburg. I should say a hugely experienced player. Here it's brought down by an Everton chest. End up going out for a throw-in. Ebony Salmon will take.
You can tell both teams are just sussing each other out. It's been quite a nervy first 8 minutes, I would say. Really neither team have been able to get their foot on the ball and really kind of gain any sort of momentum, which is understandable. You know, for both teams, I think this is a really important match.
Jean-Francois went down, but was quickly back on her feet. Squeezed between a couple of Everton players there. The free kick is awarded.
I think, again, a player I'm really excited about watching today. You know, probably didn't get the minutes she would have liked at Chelsea, and I think it's a player that can really help Villa climb up the table, and they need to make sure they get her on the ball a lot today to start creating and dictating the tempo of the game.
An addition in this transfer window, which isn't too far away from closing. So those last few moves, or attempts at moves, being made by coaches and players at the moment. Wheeler releases the ball. Now a chance for Everton to get their way into the 18-yard box. Well, a shot on target, but D'Angelo able to just drop down and collect that first real chance of this game for the home side.
Yeah, it was nice footwork by Mamiki there, I think it was, off the right flank. And actually, Miri Taylor, I think it was, that put in the tackle. It was very close to being a penalty, caught her a little bit, which put her off balance. But you know Mamiki can do that, great footwork. But yeah, just kind of lost her balance and didn't get the power that maybe she was hoping for. But positive.
She just is a tricky customer to deal with, isn't she, Momiki?
Oh, she's a brilliant player. She really is. Can play off both feet. Set-piece specialist as well. Has been a great signing for Everton.
Here it's with Villa. Jean-Francois, again, quickly recovers. And now it's a free kick. Another for Aston Villa. Looks like Miri Taylor is she going to take it? No, she will certainly be leaving it. Delons is the player now waiting behind it.
Yeah, it's great to see Miri Taylor getting a lot more minutes at Aston Villa. She's someone that I played with at Liverpool and had lack of game time, made the move to Villa, was in and out, but now has found herself a bit of consistency, got herself into the Scottish national team. It's really good to see.
Yeah, recently becoming a Scottish international. Here it's a free kick that, well, bounces a couple of times on its way out of play. Maybe Vilm's the closest player who might have made contact with that set piece.
I mean, it was a great delivery. For me, I'm asking the question as a number 9, as a striker, why is no one getting on the end of it or even getting close to it?
Forward from Brosnan. Quick ball out from Wheeler. Oh, the pass in field is one that's collected by Salmon. This a real chance for Aston Villa, and they take it. An error from Everton, latched onto by the visitors. And Ebony Salmon puts Aston Villa ahead at Goodison Park. Everton 0, Aston Villa 1.
I mean, it's a brilliant finish. Firstly, you've got to credit Salmon for the finish, but the one person that you would have never expected to make the mistake, who's been so consistent, is Mace. I don't see really what she's seeing there. You know, it's a time and a place, but 1v1, you know then Salmon's going to be heavy favourite. You see here, she's licking her lips, you know, against Fernandez, little drop of the shoulder, and it's a great finish into the side netting. There's nothing Brosnan can do, but I just think there's a time and a place, and this is where I know Everton are a team that love to play out, they want to do the right thing, but I think right there, that pass wasn't on by Mason, and she tried everything she could to recover and get the block in, but a big mistake so early on.
Back on the ball now, Mace. As you say, great finish from Ebony Salmon, but might have been slightly surprised to be offered that opportunity.
Yeah, I think as well, Fernandez was drifting out and you could see that Mace was trying to play her in there, but I just think with the players that Aston Villa have up front, you misplace any type of pass, they're going to jump on it. They've got the pace with Salmon and Hansen, and they're both prolific. So I just think there's a time and a place, and that wasn't the case for Mace. And she'll know that. She's an experienced enough player to know that it was a poor decision by her. But yeah, Salmon, incredible. You know, nice to see her back into the team as well, and has really given Villa a good start.
First goal for her since the 14th of September in the BWSL. Another free kick for Aston Villa. They're on top here, aren't they, at the moment?
I mean, again, I think it's Hansen that's putting these deliveries in with their left foot, and they are just brilliant. There's been 2 back-to-back wide free kicks from that left-hand side, and no one's getting anywhere near the end of them. So, you know, my question is starting points as well. You know, they need to get nearer there, because them areas that the free kick delivery is taking them is spot on for a number 9 to be getting on the end of it.
Natalia Arroyo, the Aston Villa manager, was a defender as a player, played at Barcelona.
Not bad credentials then, hey?
No. Although I'm not sure if Barcelona do a great deal of defending, do they? It's all out attack. Here it might be an attack. Vignola. Well, Mamiki was chasing that ball forward, but she was not going to get there before the Aston Villa goalkeeper.
Yeah, and I think that's where probably that kind of example, you do miss the likes of Payne. I mean, it was a poor ball in the end by Vignola, and probably even if a Payne was playing, she wouldn't have got on the end of that. But it's just that outlet that they don't have now. That, you know, maybe if they do want to be a bit more direct and go forward, they don't have as much pace.
Jean-Francois. On the ball again. Pushed back by Pattenter, her goalkeeper. There's a knock here. Is it Hansen who's the player who seems to be in a bit of discomfort?
Yeah, it is. At first, actually, I thought it was a little bit of a harsh call. I felt as if she's actually just clipped Mace's foot here. Mace has got very touch tight here and physical. Yeah, you can see it is a foul. And you know, you have to do that against Hansen. You can't allow her to have half a yard or be able to turn you, because if you do, she's going to be away. So good defending there by Mace. Give away the free kick on the halfway line. They can regroup and get themselves set up.
I think there was a yellow card in there as well.
And again, you have to target that. You know, as a player, as soon as you see that, if she is now on a yellow card, then you have to go at her.
Free kick for Villa. So Ruby Mace is booked for that foul. She's not had a very good few minutes, has she, the defender?
No, normally so reliable, but she's also someone that's super confident. So, you know, one, poor decision by her won't affect her. You know, she's a leader of this team and she has to be today.
Forward to Hansen. Teammates asking for it. Miri Taylor saying, give it to me. Now across to Wilms, who's in some space. Out to the goal scorer, Salmon. Really great ball in, and, well, a back heel in the end from Georgia Mullet.
I like it. I like it a lot. And again, Salmon, and this is what I love about the wide players for Villa, is they're so positive. Every single time they get on the ball, they don't think about going back. They want to go 1v1, and she gets half a yard, gets across into the box, and Mullet, I like the improvisation to try and flick it. You know, she's only 20 years old, but to be getting consistent back-to-back starts now for Villa, it shows that she's got a good future ahead of her.
Out to Salmon. Gloves and long sleeves for her, not so much for her captain.
Different types of players.
Yeah. Kitagawa turns the ball back. Now it's collected by Taylor. Back to Taylor again. Vignola now turns and runs at the Aston Villa defence. Out to Mamiki. Mamiki on her left boot. Important block by Delonde for Aston Villa there.
Yeah, good attack by Everton. At first I thought Miri Taylor had been fouled. She stayed down, but the ref played advantage, didn't think it was a foul, and Vignola did well to carry it to find Mamiki, and you can see she's desperately trying to get it onto her stronger foot, her left foot. And then set pieces now. You know, they've got players that are good in the air, so can they make the most of this opportunity?
Corner then for the home side. And Mickey takes, finds a Villa head. Ends up going out into those supporters behind the goal.
Yeah, you can see they were kind of aiming for that near post area. It wasn't the worst corner in the world if they could get a flick on in the near post area. Just a shame with the second balls that they couldn't recycle it and make more of it.
Is by Hayashi.
Yeah, credit to Everton. They really are looking to step now and press higher. The last 3 or 4 minutes, they've really been stepping on, trying to lock Villa into their own half.
Forward from Vignola. Now back with the team in the lead here. Maltby for Villa. "18 years old.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about her before the game, weren't we? And how that partnership between Desland and her would work. And she's obviously playing in that fullback area, but she's got a lot of experienced players in and around her and playing just behind Hansen as well. Great opportunity for her, and must be good enough if she's getting her chance today.
That goal from Ebony Salmon means that it is still just 1 clean sheet for Everton in the Barclays Women's Super League this season. It was against Chelsea, though. Here it's forward for Villa. Back heel. Looking for Hishikata. Comes out to Salmon. Referee gets slightly in the way of a pass between Villa teammates. Pass to Salmon, just a bit too strong. It will go out for a throw-in.
Yeah, the referee was full in the action there, falling over and then having to do a nutmegs. No, she did well to avoid the ball. But no, again, Salmon has probably been one of the standout players so far in this first 20 minutes, getting good crosses into the box. And now, if you're an Aston Villa player, every time she gets on it, you're thinking commit numbers, get more numbers forward, because she's got the beating of the fullback every single time.
I do remember Emma Hayes saying that, look where the referee is at any point in a match, because that is usually the best place on the pitch. It does mean that they can be in the way on occasions. Ball comes to Kitigawa. On to Momiki. Villa quickly getting bodies back. That wasn't a bad pass to find Inma Gabaro.
Wasn't bad, it was a brilliant pass. You know, it's great play by Momiki, and she's growing more and more into the game. Good run by Gabaro, but a touch just let her down. And again, you can kind of understand that a little bit. Her first game back in the WSL, is there a little bit of rustiness? It's a different league, it's more physical, but really, she should be doing better there in that opportunity.
She was found, wasn't she, when there were plenty of Aston Villa players around and about her by that Momiki pass. Comes back to Deslandes, who will turn it back to her goalkeeper. Infill from Jean-Francois. Pass forward looking for Salmon. Hayashi.
Yeah, you can see every time the Aston Villa midfield players, Miri Taylor there in particular, they're looking in behind the channel for Ebony Salmon. Just doesn't get enough on her pass there, but that definitely is their out. Hansen's been a little bit quiet the last 5 minutes, but they have been getting a lot of joy through Salmon, so it's a good option to be able to mix and change between the two flanks.
One shot on target for the home side, 2 for Aston Villa, and of course they have scored the only goal of this game so far. Everton have played 10 BWSL games at Goodison Park. They have drawn 2 and lost 7 of those. Played 5, lost 5, or now 6 this season. They beat Liverpool November of 2024. That was certainly an important and significant result, of course, between the two rivals.
Yeah, they always do well in the derby games. Everton head-to-head wise, they're on top of those ones, but they need to start winning these. And like you said, they would have come in today confident, but then to basically give Aston Villa a goal, it's not an ideal start. But lucky for them, they've still got plenty of the game left to play.
Here with Hayashi. Turn back to Martina Fernandez. To Kitigawa. Forward to Magabaro. Finds Vignola to Momiki. Momiki tries to play it in. And it was Wilms who just threw her body at that, got her head to it to take it out for a corner.
I mean, it's brilliant by Momiki, isn't it? Again, wand of a left foot. Villa have to stop her, getting it onto her left foot. And Wilms, that's just as good as scoring a goal. You know, if she doesn't get on that, then it's a tap-in for Gabara, who's behind her. But Everton are kind of slowly building momentum here.
What can Everton do with the resulting corner? Momiki with it. Punched by D'Angelo. Come back to the corner taker again. Now Wheeler gives it back to Momiki. Picked up by Blundell. Pass intercepted by Jean-Francois. Salmon is there, but I think she knew as soon as she touched that ball that the referee's assistant would be raising a flag. The Aston Villa goal scorer this time finds herself offside.
Yeah, it's a little bit too open with regards to Everton at the moment. You know, it's come out to Blundell, who's gone to obviously play it forward, got a block, and then they're wide open. You can see players are recovering and they've stepped to play offside, but that's a really risky game to play. Luckily, they got it right.
Forward to Momiki again. She is the source for Everton again and again in this game. Lovely cross in. D'Angelo had to get there first. Had to be brave, with Imma Gabaro also looking to get contact on that ball in from Hannah Blundell. And Everton are doing everything to try and get an equaliser in this game.
Yeah, they are, and I think in moments like this, when you are on top, you have to score, and it's again this lovely play down the right-hand side. Blundell now with a wonderful ball in, and if anything, I think Gabaro has to commit a bit more, has to be a little bit braver. Yes, she does get hit, but I think she can see out of the corner of her eye D'Angelo, and then I think she holds back a bit. For me, throw your head at it, try and get a nick. But yeah, the last 3 or 4 minutes has been really good football by Everton.
Martina Fernandez will head it back to a goalkeeper. So the advice of Tash Dowie there, don't worry about the goalkeeper, just go for the ball.
If it means scoring a goal,
yeah.
I don't care.
Forward from Kitagawa this time. I think Everton are starting to show a bit more threatening intent, aren't they?
They absolutely are, and especially with the fullbacks, I think that's been really important. They've been able to get them on more and create 2v1 situations out wide, because, to be honest, Hansen and Salmon probably don't want to be tracking back, so Everton then are exploiting that space out wide.
Ichikawa. Now Mace is able to turn it back to her goalkeeper. With a pass out to the far side. Free kick for Everton, but inside their own half. Vignola, the player who gets up, talking about how Everton do against Liverpool. Of course, she had a brilliant debut. The Everton number 18 got a hat-trick away against Liverpool.
Yeah, she had the dream start, didn't she? And I think it's been quite tough for her as well, because she started in the 9 role. Then when Gargo and Payne were playing, she's dropped into a bit more of a midfield role. So it's kind of that inconsistency for her as well. But she is someone that can do both of those. You can see here, you know, creating things already, getting the foul. And with Mamiki's left foot, this is a really dangerous position for Everton.
So Anna Patton into the referee's book, and a free kick for Everton in what could be a dangerous position here. This isn't close enough to go straight at goal, is it? She's shaking her head at me. No.
I mean, I'd love to see it, but yeah, I think it's more of a whipped-in one, and they have got good height.
Mason Momiki wait behind this free kick. It's left to the left boot of Momiki. Oh, D'Angelo had to push that wide. She gets high fives from her teammates. The Momiki free kick, it made contact with her head on its way towards the Aston Villa goal.
I think it was Deslond, actually, one of the Aston Villa players, has nearly scored an own goal, so D'Angelo does great there.
Corner then. Comes to the far post, on is headed in! And that is the equaliser that Everton have been threatening since going behind. The corner comes to the far post, and it's headed in by Martina Fernandez to make it all square at Goodison Park.
I mean, what a great header, and to be honest, fully deserved. It's a great set piece. What a ball by Mace. But she's free. I mean, for Aston Villa, firstly, that's poor. You know, you can't leave a centre-half and probably Everton's biggest threat. I mean, she's not going to miss from there. But it's great the way she heads it down, guides it, and credit to Everton, they deserve that. They've been the better team the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, the next goal felt like it was going to be Everton's, didn't it?
And this will lift the crowd as well. You know, I talked about the disappointing boos last game. You know, they have to give the crowd of Goodison something to get behind. So I think their performance the last 5-10 minutes will definitely do that.
A positive response from the home side, having conceded that early goal.
And we talk about Ruby Mace's response as well. So obviously giving the first pass away, she goes and gets herself an assist. So I think, again, that's a really positive response to a disappointing moment earlier on in the game.
It's got the home fans making a bit more noise. Now with Jean-Francois.
You could see as well with some of the newer faces, Jean-Francois, you've just seen there, Mullet's checked to come to feet and then she's played her in behind. So I think it's still taking a bit of time for players to understand their strengths. Mullet's someone that will want the ball to feet. For instance, maybe a Salmon or Hansen will want the ball in behind. So that's going to take time.
Yeah, even though you're familiar with your own role, I guess, in a team, you have to just learn what the people either side of you, in front and behind you, are doing as well.
Oh, 100%.
This could be picked up by Vignola. But strong defending from Wilms. Twist and a turn from Hayashi. There's a break now by Aston Villa. Is Hansen going to carry on going? She squares it instead to Mullet. It'll come back to her. She gets another chance and somehow hooks it wide. A break from Aston Villa from inside their own half. It's started by Hansen, squared to Mullet. A save from Brosnan that brought it back to the Aston Villa number 18. And then with her left boot, she takes it into the fans in the stands.
Yeah, I feel for her. She's not going to want to watch that one back. It's an electric break, it really is. And actually, Mace does quite well to delay it with Hansen. But Mullet has 3 opportunities there to score, and the third one is the big one. The one that I think she actually thinks she scored. She's leant back on her left foot. It's an open goal. You have to score and make it 2-1 there. So she'll be really disappointed. And look, we spoke about how young she is, so she'll absolutely grow from this. And I just hope, as a former number 9, that she just doesn't let that chance get in her head, because I've been there. You know, I've missed chances like that before, and it can affect you. But hopefully she just forgets about it and moves on to the next opportunity.
Has scored against Everton this season. These two sides, when they met on the 2nd of November, ended up being a 3-3 draw between them in the reverse fixture. And Georgia Mullet on the score sheets that day. Ball with Martina Fernandez, goal scorer for Everton. Now with Salmon. Salmon with the cross in. I think Brosnan's saying, it's fine, I had that covered.
Yeah, and I actually think potentially she's saying sorry for maybe playing out earlier. For me, you've just nearly conceded and gone 2-1 down. So actually at times, put your foot on the ball and like this, go a little bit more direct. Don't put yourself under unnecessary pressure. With
Momiki.
really enjoyed watching her this first half.
I was going to say, she's been a standout, hasn't she? Yeah, if in doubt, give the ball to her.
And it's crazy as well because you know where she wants to go, but she's just one of those players that can manipulate the ball, and she has such a low sense of gravity that she can always seem to work it onto her left foot.
Yes, it's one thing knowing what she's going to do, it's another thing trying to stop it, right?
Yeah, that's why I'm glad I'm retired and sitting here just enjoying it now.
Well, she's one of the players waiting behind another free kick for Everton. And she will take it. Comes out to the head of Mace. And the referee will blow. I think the hope was that that might be shepherded out for a corner.
I mean, I didn't see anything in this whatsoever. If anything, she's just hooked the ball. That's not a foul. That's really poor refereeing. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. She gets her foot on it. Play should be played on there. That's poor by the ref.
It is still tight at the bottom of the Barclays Women's Super League. Liverpool just 1 point below Everton, who are equal on points with West Ham. Now with Mamiki, considering her options. Lundell with the ball in. Couple of players go for it. Bit of bravery from the attacking Everton side. I think this time the referee just allowed that action to play out.
I mean, I'm wondering how the ball's not gone in the back of the net. You thought both of the Everton players were favourite to get there and to tap it in. I mean, again, it's Blundell. Both teams' deliveries from wide have been superb today, but the ball in by Blundell is just so inviting. I'd love to see that back and just see how close it was for the two Everton players. But for me, initially, I thought, was it a penalty? Because otherwise, I'm not too sure how they haven't gotten the end of that.
Play continues with Patton looking for options in front of her. Instead, finding Delons. We'll give it back to D'Angelo. I think Villa just trying to sort of slow things down a little bit, because that Everton energy is what led to their equaliser. Now they launch it forward, brought down by Salmon. Thumbs up for that ball up towards the Aston Villa goal scorer. Now with Kitagawa. Comes to Magabaro. Now with Vignola. Vignola onto her right boot. She tries to curl it in! Denied by the frame of the goal. So close to putting Everton ahead before half-time.
I mean, what an effort that is. The way that she just shifted it, got half a yard onto her right foot and just shaped it. I mean, it was near perfection, it really was. There's not much more she could have done. Maybe she just could have wrapped her foot around it an inch more to have brought it in, but it's a great effort by Vignola, and she has that. She absolutely has that in her bag, and I think Aston Villa are the team that are definitely wanting this half-time whistle to go.
Yeah, Natalia Arroyo will be scribbling her notes, I'm sure, at the moment, thinking about what she will want to say to her side at half-time. Here it's with Hayashi. Momiki. Blundell again on the overlap. Another lovely ball from that right-hand side.
Yeah, you can see here, you can see she wants to get onto her right foot. Probably Patton needs to do better there to stop that. But that half a yard, she just uses the defender to actually whip the ball around the defender, so the keeper's got no sight of it there whatsoever, and it's so unlucky. There's not much more that she could do there, near perfection.
A corner now, another corner for Everton. Got their equalizer from a corner. Now this time, not quite finding Martina Fernandez.
But I think Villa are definitely looking to target Maltby. You know, the young players coming in, 18 years of age. They're having a lot of joy with Blundell down this right-hand side and Mamiki. So Aston Villa need to be aware of that. And if anything, you know, Deslond, you know, and the players in front of her, Hansen, Miri Taylor, they have to help the young fullback a little bit more.
Forward from Brosnan. Out to Wilms from Patton. Salmon. Hayashi stands in her way. Salmon with a cross. Now to Wheeler with Mamiki. And it was Maltby who got in the way of Mamiki. She wasn't going to get an inch after collecting that pass. Yeah, there were a few shouts of handball a few moments ago, but not sustained. As here, it's Villa in their attacking third late in this first half. Wilms with the cross, and Everton trying to stop it from going out for a corner. This was the shout of a handball, I think coming off the arm of Wheeler by the looks of things.
It's a tight one, isn't it? But I feel like her arms are pretty close to her side. But again, now we talk about the shift of momentum. That kind of shift now has come to Aston Villa, who are probably then finishing the stronger of the two teams in the last few minutes.
A corner with not long to go before the break. Not swinger from Wilms. Jean-Francois will keep it in play. Forward from Maltby, I think bounces a couple of times. It'll end up going out at a minute then of stoppage time, at least a minute after the 45. Goals in this first half from Ebony Salmon and Martina Fernandez. But apart from that, really, we haven't had any stoppages in play. I think that minute is largely 30 seconds per goal, isn't it?
I've really enjoyed the first half. I think both teams have played really well. There's been some key players, star players. Salmon and Mamiki, I think, are the two star players for both teams. But it's been some really good football played by both teams.
Wilms forward to Salmon, who managed to play that through the legs of Kitagawa. Now she has Hayashi for company. Has she won her team a late corner at the end of this first half? I think she has. A set piece to see this first 45 off.
And it must be so great to play with someone like a Salmon and Hansen either side of you as a number 9, because you know exactly what they're going to do. Get down to the byline, cross it in, deliver. So as a number 9, it's so clear what you have to do. Get yourself into the box.
Another corner that Wilms is standing behind. Chipped back into the far post. Mace with the header to take it away. And that will be the end of the first half at Goodison Park. Ebony Salmon giving Aston Villa the lead with a brilliant strike after a bit of an error from Ruby Mace. But then an equaliser from Martina Fernandez heading in a corner at the break. It is Everton 1, Aston Villa 1.
Previously on the BWSL.
Kiko Seike, can she find a teammate? She can, and there's the opener. And it's Stankovic with the goal for Brighton.
Beth Mead takes a touch, hits it and finds the back of the net. Arsenal have beaten Chelsea at Stamford Bridge.
Park, weaving and scoring. They dismantled Aston Villa with a thrilling second half showing.
This is from Martinez! A brilliant strike to extend the Hammers' lead at the King Power.
And as it's scrambled over the line, it's cleared, but there's Shaw! And Bunny Shaw has done it! And that is what champions do!
It's Mia Enderby with the goal! Oh, it's 2! And it's a huge win for Liverpool.
They don't always get the glory. But without a solid pair of centre-backs, you're not winning anything. Centre-backs are sometimes called central defenders. They are positioned in front of the goalkeeper and behind the midfielders.
And it's last-ditch defending. Tebow with the block.
They are the organisers, the enforcers.
Really, really good block.
Part of their role is anticipation, to read the game and stop attacks before they start. It's not just tackles. It's cutting off passing lanes, keeping the line straight, doing the dirty work. Centre-backs have to dominate the air. Be strong, be vocal.
Let's go.
Be fearless.
The modern game, the way it's come in, a lot of centre-backs now start the attack for a lot of teams. I love being on the ball and starting the attack and finding solutions of breaking down teams.
I don't have just to defend, but also to have a proper ball possession and try to see also many passes and have a good view of my teammate.
It's focus, it's fight. It's total trust in your teammate beside you.
Aston Villa have a goal. Lucy Parker was lurking.
That is the art of being a centre-back.
Two clubs, dignified, strong. Both hungry, both ready. On the pitch is where we lay our scene. Prepare for drama, grit. A new story will be told as familiar foes face off. Boot to ball, playing with desire, a thirst to succeed. Silverware and glory, the ultimate goal.
Chelsea are the winners of the Subway Women's League Cup.
Chelsea blue, champions, standing strong. Manchester red, fresh-faced and here to take them on.
Manchester United are into the League Cup final for the first time ever in their history.
North v South, a grudge as old as time. Just one more game, both are desperate to win. With that, it's time to let the final begin.
Today, very happy birthday to Grace Foster, who is 16 later on this week. She is an Everton Women's season ticket holder. That's with love from all your family who are with you today in the family enclosure. Also, a big congratulations to Amy Murphy on graduating. We're so proud of that from Mum, Dad, Emily and Tom. Now you may have been following the story of Villa fan Joe Randall and his journey to today's game. It began last Sunday when he set off from Villa Park on foot. Now Joe took on the challenge.
So these are the half-time scores from the Barclays Women's Super League. London City Lionesses coming from behind to lead at Brighton by 2-1. 1-1 at the moment here at Goodison Park. Manchester United 0, Liverpool 0 is a half-time score. And Shakira Martinez has given West Ham the lead at half-time against Tottenham. If the scoreline stays like that, of course, that would be a big 3 points for the Hammers.
Joe has already smashed his initial.
So this is how the first half here at Goodison Park played out. Momicki with the first shot on target for the home side. Then a pass from Mace in the Everton defence that was collected by Ebony Salmon. Took a couple of touches before striking it in to give Aston Villa the lead.
Ebony Salmon.
Her first Women's Super League goal since September. Everton, though keen to respond and not far away with a almost own goal from a free kick, but then the goal did come from Martina Fernandez, heading in a corner to make it 1-1. Chance for Aston Villa to regain the lead as Kirsty Hansen and Georgia Mullet broke forward. 1-2 saves from Courtney Brosnan before eventually the ball was lifted over the crossbar. And then Vignola denied by the frame of the Aston Villa goal. So chances at either end, a goal at either end. It is 1-1 at the break.
Oh, whoops.
Close your eyes, can't see them.
Let's see it, Grace. The people are waiting.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Let's play Truth or Dare.
Go on then. You've got to spin the wheel. Does this mean you're asking me? Yeah. Oh, nice one.
Do your best celebrity impression.
I can do one of Johanna Ritting-Kannerid. I'm not sure if that counts, but oosh.
Wagwan, my G. Is that funny? It's all point! Is that Julie? Oh, yeah. We love you, Julie, we love you. Yeah.
There. Repeat 3 things. She sell seashell on the sea snow. Wow! And I have to say it 3 times.
3 times.
Like quick. She sells seashells on the seashore. Not that bad. She sells seashell on the sea snow.
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 You got it.
She sells Wait. She sells seashell on the seashore.
Yeah, good. That was good. If you had to be on a reality show, which one would it be?
In Germany, we have one reality show, Elite Athletes or something. So they're like athletes, they already quit their career and they have to do like different challenges.
Oh wow,
It's
like a boot camp
Yeah,
thing.
it's quite fun.
That's cool.
What is the worst excuse you've given to get out of plans?
Probably that I just have to look after the dog when really like I can just leave the dog on her own, she's fine. But I just say I've got to look after the dog.
Any annoying habits you have? I think annoyed all of them every day in the dressing room.
Sometimes I have like a spasm or something in my eye, so sometimes I wink. And then people wink at me like, and I'm like, why are you winking? And they say like, yeah, you wink at me. And I'm like, oh no.
Sometimes you're like...
Yeah.
Hidden talent.
I can do a really good handstand.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, do it then.
Okay.
That is impressive, to be fair.
I think I like yours better.
Ow! Give me necklace.
Your legs are like this.
I'm practicing.
Sing a bit of your karaoke song.
We don't have to take our clothes off to have a good time. Oh no.
Jermaine Stewart.
Yeah.
Lovely song.
It's a side, Grace.
Oh no.
You're gonna hate this. Show me your best impression of an elephant. Let's see it, Grace.
A few more ways.
The people are waiting.
That was obviously high pitched. It was a baby elephant. That's me done.
Good.
Thanks for playing.
Two sets of players returning to the pitch ahead of the second half here at Goodison Park. Ebony Salmon having given Aston Villa the lead before Martina Fernandez headed in a corner to make it 1-1 at the break. Both head coaches have said to their players at half-time, and what difference might it make to the performances in this second half and the results at full-time. Looks like Aston Villa are out first. Everton, I'm sure, will join them soon. Both head coaches, no doubt, with plans to make changes, if not now, then certainly over the course of this second half. And just to let you know that there was a yellow card for the Everton goalkeeper right at the end of that first half. We believe that she spoke to one of the assistant referees and may well have been shown a yellow card for dissent as a result. So it's 2 yellow cards for the home side. Ruby Mace has also been booked. Anna Patton has been shown a yellow card for Aston Villa already in this game. The meeting between these two sides earlier this season ended in a 3-3 draw. Will they be sharing the points again here this afternoon? Aston Villa to get this second half underway. Roll back to Taylor. Now with the Villa captain Patton. Quickly finds Hansen. Hansen. It's ball in from her. Patton will stop the ball on halfway. Wilms. To Salmon, but there's no way through.
Well, I think straight away the wide players for Aston Villa are getting involved, and I think Hansen actually started the game really brightly, but then wasn't really getting the service that she probably needed for probably the good chunk of the first half. But it's a great ball in straight away. Both her and Salmon looking to create. I thought that was actually a bit of a block on Salmon there, a foul against her, but the referee didn't seem to think so.
Yeah, she wasn't getting round, was she? Kirsty Hansen has scored 7 goals this season in the league. That's as many as she scored in her debut season for Aston Villa, 2022-23. So 7 goals, and I'm sure she will hope counting. And she's on the ball again here. Mace for company. And it would appear that the plan for Aston Villa is to maybe find Kirsty Hansen a bit more regularly in this second half. Comes out to Maltby now.
I mean, she's been their star player. You know, for me, I kind of asked the question as to why United didn't play her more, actually. I think she is a top player. But yeah, you can straight away see she's looking to get more involved in this second half. I think Mace does well there, actually, to use her body and her strength to just block her off. But once Hansen gets going the same as Salmon, it's very hard to stop them. You have to end up doubling up and making sure you get players in and around them.
Yeah, recent form, 5 goals in her last 6 Barclays Women's Super League appearances, Kirsty Hansen. As it goes out of Ichikata for an early corner for Aston Villa in this second half. A positive start to this second half for the visiting side.
Yeah, and I think both managers would be really pleased. One with how Everton responded to giving an early goal away. But I think no changes says a lot as well, you know, that they're happy in. And, you know, like I said, the managers probably come around the 60-minute mark. That's where the changes will look to happen if needed.
First corner of this second half. Wilms waits behind it. It's a short one. It's clipped by Hansen just over her head. Comes back to her head. Eventually, well, it drops to an Everton player who just clears it as far as she possibly can.
Yeah, there's a slight lack of communication there between Mace and the goalkeeper there. I think the keeper actually could have come and claimed that, and Mace ended up heading it back. But Villa has started the second half really well and won 2 corners back-to-back early on.
Another corner here. This one to the other side of the Everton goal. And after Ebony Salmon was prevented from a delivery, a shot, either of those two. 4 minutes into a second half, which has been all Aston Villa. This one is rolled and then lifted in. It was rolled back to Miri Taylor. Different option from that latest corner.
It's a really clever ball by Miri Taylor. You can see that was worked to the training ground, and she's actually thrown her hands up in the air after, asking why no one's got on the end of it or looked to get on the end of it. I actually thought she might have shot from the edge of the box, but she's just dinked it back into a really dangerous position, and an Aston Villa player has to be committed to that more.
Forward from Patton. On back by Wheeler. Now, do these players know what the latest scorelines are in the other games?
Potentially a little sneaky look on the phone at half-time. No, I think probably more towards the end of the season. I've been in a similar situation where we had to go into the last game of the season and win, but we were also relying on other scores. So I think that's the case, but we're halfway through the season. I think there's so much more football to be played, so they'll just be focusing on the game today.
I was going to say, just concentrate on this. Here it's with Maltby. Comes back to her from Mace. Not quite able to keep the ball in play. Mullet to Salmon. Now Vilms finds Salmon, and Gabaro ends up off the pitch. Doesn't stop the cross from the Villa goal scorer. Will come back for a shot that is blocked by Fernandez from Miri Taylor.
Last-ditch defending by Everton. I'm not too sure what Gabaro was doing there, almost assisting Salmon. But she puts a great ball in here, and Miri Taylor hits this cleanly, but bodies on the line. Fernandez does well there, not to just initially block the first shot, as you can see here, but then she actually reacts and then gets a block on the second shot. So good defending by Everton.
But they are a little bit busier than they would like to be in their own 18-yard box. Here it's with Taylor again. Now out to Maltby. All in with her left boot.
That's a lovely ball into the box, isn't it, by the 18-year-old Maltby? And again, you know, I think probably being an attacker myself, I'm thinking if I'm a number 9, I'm absolutely loving the service that Hansen, Maltby, Salmon are delivering today. If anything, I'm saying to Mullet, run less. I think she drifts into channels too much. Just try and stay a bit more central and be a bit more patient, and then she'll get opportunities.
Picked up by Patton. Now it might break forwards. And Mickey was hoping to get there first. But, well, Everton are busy defending at the moment, haven't kept too many players at the other end of the pitch.
Yeah, they need to get their key players on the ball. Mamiki was a standout player in the first half and hasn't touched it in the second half. So I think it's really important that when they do get the ball, they possess it better. They're turning over the ball way too quickly. And moments like this are important. Just take your time now. There's no rush. Kill momentum. All those little tactics and things that experienced players know what to do.
Free kick comes back to Martina Fernandez. Van Hool and Vilms both battling for the ball. It's the referee's final decision. Well, She's given it to Villa for a throw. Boos from the Everton fans.
I think what I'm fascinated by the longer the game goes on, and when you do get nearer to that 60-minute mark, is the decisions by the manager. You know, there's some strong benches available today.
Barrow, they got into the box.
Poor advantage play there by the referee. Mullet gets fouled. And Jean-Francois is away. The referee has to allow play to play on there.
10 minutes played in this second half. Across the pitch from Deslandes to Wilms. Forward from Jean-Francois. Wheeler for Everton to Hayashi. Hayashi gets the pass back. Now comes to Wheeler, back to Hayashi. Arms raised by the Aston Villa players as it's turned back to Momiki. I think Aston Villa felt that there was an offside in that passage of play. It continued, and the player to look for, as it often is Momiki in a blue shirt.
Yeah, I did initially as well. I felt like Hayashi had way too much time and space, that it did look as if maybe she'd strayed offside a little bit. But it's a good ball in, and Momiki, you know, you actually expect her to do better there. Yes, it's behind her and she's a little bit off balance, but with her quality, I think she would have expected to hit the target.
Everton player goes down. The referee will come across to check on Rosa van Hoel.
Again, I feel like the second half is kind of started how the first half did, a little bit scrappy. But eventually, whether it's a goal or whether it's just a team taking momentum a bit, yeah, you can see there Van Hoel, she's just been caught with the elbow of Hansen. It's accidental, but it does hurt.
But you're right, the first half kind of found a groove.
It did, and the goal was that kind of, that instigated that. So whether or not that's needed or whether or not a change of personnel now is needed, coming to the 60-minute mark where you normally do see changes, but I feel like it's got a little bit sloppy. The quality's dropped off.
Perhaps a slightly cut lip there for the central midfielder. No goals added in this second half yet, to a couple of really good ones in the first. Ebony Salmon giving Aston Villa the lead, and then the home side back into the game through that Martina Fernandez header from a corner.
I actually feel like Van Hoel could have released that earlier there. She's found herself in a lovely pocket in that 10 row, and Gabarro's made the run in behind, released it earlier, took a touch, and then got the ball taken off of her. And that's why you just have to be able to take the picture earlier, see the picture quicker.
She was a player who felt like was relatively quiet, I think, in the first half. Not a player that we identified a great deal.
Yeah, I think you're spot on. I think she would even want to get into the ball, on the ball, more than what she has. But she is that kind of player that goes and does her thing, and probably isn't a player that you're going to talk about too much. But I do think her quality, she needs to be seen more on the ball.
Mullet tries to get to the ball. Comes to Taylor. Now with Patton. To Deslandes. Out to Maltby. Quick pass forward to Chikata. Back with Maltby. If she doesn't manage to find the pass, she can win her team a corner, which is what she's done.
I mean, Maltby's really grown into the game, hasn't she? You know, looks so full of confidence here, coming up against Blundell, who's a really experienced player, and just puts her on her backside and wins her team a corner.
Hour mark reached at Goodison Park. Corner is left to roll out of play by Kirsty Hansen, who will take the resulting throw-in. Three defeats in a row for Everton in the BWSL coming into this game, the longest run of any current side in the top flight. But they have got that equaliser after Aston Villa took the lead here. At the moment, they might be heading towards their first point at their new home.
And you just think as well what they could be doing today if they did have a Gargo, if they did have a Payne, you know, Snoyce, Stenovic, you know, some key player, Holmesgaard, Finnegan, their captain. You know, if you can get all those players back fit, then things may be looking a little bit different, but that's been the problem with Everton. They haven't been able to do that enough.
It must be a sense of what if. Chested down by Mace. Blundell finds Brosnan, but she might have felt that she was under a little pressure there. Aston Villa were 1-1 with Manchester United last weekend, but then Manchester United scoring 3 goals in the space of 8 minutes in the second half. Ball here with Maltby. Again, winning her side, and another corner. She is doing that regularly, isn't she, in this second half?
Yeah, she's always an outlet, and I think it's a case of Hansen is actually drifting inside a bit more, which is creating the channel then for Maltby to be able to get the overlaps, and they're getting a lot of joy. You can see already her touch map and how heavily involved she's been, you know, in these first 15 minutes of the second half.
Another corner for Villa. This one was a short one. With Jean-Francois, back to Salmon. Everton, plenty of players in the way. Pass looking for Wilms, who for a moment is on the left-hand side. Yeah. Bypasses her to end up going out of play.
Yeah, I'm just trying to look at the bench and see potentially changes that need to be made, more so for Everton, I think, right now. And you look at, you know, Gali, someone that I played against when I was over at AC Milan. She was at Juventus, and she's a real top international player for Italy. Bit of experience in midfield maybe needed. Mel Lawley as well, again, someone I played with at Liverpool. Can be direct, can be your outlet, can penetrate with her dribbling runs. I just feel like they need a little freshen up, maybe a Maz Pacheco as well. But you can see there's a few faces not on the bench, so maybe they are warming up. But I think for Everton in particular, changes need to be made.
Comes to Hansen. Now with Salmon. It will push on Taylor, who will win a free kick and takes an opportunity to take a breath as well. She felt that. Now with Maltby.
There's a real pace about Villa's play. You know, even then trying to take the free kick quickly, putting it down and wanting to play.
pass finds Vignola. Vignola with the cross. Makes contact with an Aston Villa head. There's shouts as Hayashi was the player who went down inside the 18-yard box. Now with Vignola to Van Hall. Taylor just stands in her way. Hall gets it away. Attempts to curl it in at the far post. But this is where there were a few shouts from the stands.
Yeah, very hopeful.
Yeah,
hopeful
I was going to
shout.
say, I didn't see a huge amount in that.
Literally just headed the ball onto her head there.
Yeah. We are heading towards that time in a match that, regardless of the scoreline or the opponents, managers tend to start looking at their benches.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised if changes aren't made sooner rather than later. I just feel like the game has dropped off a little bit, became a little bit flat in this second half, especially for Everton anyway.
Yeah, it's definitely been Villa inside the Everton half, hasn't it, for most of the last 20 minutes.
And you just think if they had a Rachel Daly, I talked about the amount of crosses that have been going into the box, she would definitely be on the end of those.
Ball with Jean-Francois to Hansen. Hansen's cross is taken out by Mace. It's going to be another corner for Aston Villa. Maybe they can start doing better with these corners.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Everton have actually looked really dangerous from their set pieces, but I think when you look at the players that Villa have as well aerially, that absolutely has to be a focus. But that was better by Mullet. I've been watching her a little bit closely with regards to her movement. She looked to try and get near post there, and I think that's really important.
Another second half corner for Aston Villa. This one straight into the gloves of Brosnan, who's keen to get it up the pitch as quickly as possible. Momiki and Delande, I think, the two players who end up off the pitch and slipping down into the advertising hoardings.
Yeah, Momiki does great there. You can see they're trying to crowd out the keeper, but Brosnan, good hands, and she looks to counter quickly. Actually, probably wasn't her best kick in the world. It's drifting out, but Momiki just enough to get her body in the way there. And if anything, Delande just needs to shepherd it out, but they both hurt themselves here. Hopefully they're okay.
Yeah, asking quite a bit of Momiki.
She didn't give up on it, and
No,
I think that's where I think not just on the ball, how good she's been, but actually her work rate off it as well. You know, chasing down lost causes like that to win her team, throwing high up the pitch. I think this is really important as well, you know, with regards to Everton and how much pressure they've been under this second half, is actually being able to get into their groups, getting into their units and problem solve. You know, not always relying on the manager to do that at half-time, to actually do that now during the game.
Well, you've already mentioned, Tash, in commentary, the number of players that are missing for Everton at the moment, attacking players that Brian Sorensen doesn't have to call on currently. He will not want to lose his number 29.
Absolutely not.
But maybe a change to be made.
Must have heard me.
Well, exactly.
No, but I do think Maz Pacheco is someone that has a great left foot, loads of experience in this top league, and can obviously create a lot going forward. Will be up and down. I talked about Ghali and her experience as well in that midfield. They just need a bit more of an experienced head, I think, at the moment.
Free kick taken. Oh, dropped dangerously there. Still not quite away. And now it's Villa who take it into the Everton half. Flicked out by Mullet to Salmon. Maybe not the right touch at the right time.
Yeah, the referee needs to change her boots. She's had another little fall there. But no, it's a great run by Mullet, though. You know, the way that she ate up ground. Probably her execution at the end, tired legs, maybe wasn't the right ball. Mace had a couple of yards on Salmon, but to be able to dribble and drive, that was really positive by Mullet. It's just that final ball, and like I said, she's so young still, so the more she plays, her decision-making will become better.
Forward from Maltby. Infield to Jean-Francois. Back to D'Angelo. Delonde is back on the pitch for Aston Villa, and Mamiki as well, so maybe Maz Pacheco will just have to wait a little while. So it's good to see that both of those players are okay and have recovered. So here it comes to Hayashi. Now with Vignola. Vignola to the far post. Wilms with a header to take it out. Everton have got a corner of their own in this second half.
Yeah, not a bad ball into the box as well, and just a lack of communication there with Wilms and D'Angelo. There's no one behind her, so I think she could have actually just let that go, but instead she's flicked it out for a corner. And Everton have been a real threat, especially with Fernandez in that back post area.
Will Aston Villa have learnt from not keeping an eye on her in the first half? Not sure what the referee is. Does she want to move the ball a little bit here? Oh, that will make all the difference.
Wow.
Squared by Patton to Delonde. Lundell stopping the cross from Maltby. Chased by Gabaro. I think both players were saying the other player got the last touch. It's going to be another corner for Everton.
I think these last 15 minutes are going to be so key now, with regards to how both teams manage the game. When and where to go forward, when to defend. Oh, this referee is loving this ball situation, isn't she?
But not going to move it this time. Ruby Mace can take this corner from where the ball is set. And no Martina Fernandez where she was in the first half. Go all the way out for a goal kick. As I say, heading into the last 15 minutes of this game. Are we going to see some changes?
Coming off from 38, Rachel Maltby.
And Rachel Maltby is
being replaced by number 32,
the player who's coming off. And looks like, so Jenna Nyswanger is coming on for Aston Villa. I thought that Claire Wheeler might be heading off as well, or maybe she's just coming across to be spoken to by her manager, but Maz Pacheco is certainly stripped off and waiting to come on. Looks like there might be two changes. In fact, Emma Gabaro comes off. Maz Pacheco comes on against her former side. Rosa Van Gaal also comes off. And Aurora Gali comes on in her place. So a couple of changes made by Everton, and also a change to replace Rachel Maltby with Jenna Nyswanger for Aston Villa.
Yeah, potentially both teams looking to bring on a bit more experience. I think Maltby did really well and was growing into the game.
Lifted forward, well, it was the two Everton substitutes immediately into the action. Gali looking for the run of Pacheco.
Yeah, it was. What a start that would have been. And this is where Maz Pacheco will. She loves to get forward, and Gali, with her intelligence, will drop into really dangerous pockets, and she nearly picks Maz Pacheco out there.
Georgia Mullets is now going to come off, so
substitution
a second change made by Aston Villa. Chastity Grant is the player who comes on.
Yeah, just renewed a new contract, didn't she? I think, which is really positive. A really good player. Slightly different from Mullet with regards to her style of play. Mullet's someone that wants to come to feet a little bit more. I think Chastity Grant, similar kind of player to the likes of a Salmon, and Hansen will want to get in behind. So three really direct centre forwards now.
Jenna Nyswanger, who has also come on for Aston Villa, of course, on loan from Arsenal, joined in January with an option to buy the American international.
Yeah, I want to see more of her. You know, has been involved with the US national team. So I'm excited to see her get more game time, see what she's about.
Brought down by Hansen. Now it's Salmon who's able to cut in from that right-hand side.
And Hansen's gone through the middle now, so Grant's come out on the left. But they'll be able to interchange as well. Very flexible between them front three.
That was almost a gymnastics move there from Ebony Salmon, just to let that head between her legs.
Yeah, you can actually see what she was trying to do. She thought the weight of the ball would allow her fullback to get onto the end of it, but it was just curling away from her. Probably better to actually pick up the ball herself.
The Everton manager, Brian Sorensen, signed a new contract in April. Since then, Everton have won 3 of their 16 BWSL games.
I think that might have been winded, which is a sore one. You can see here as the ball's crossed in. Yeah, it's just caught her in the ribs. That's sore.
As Pacheco comes across to check on Kitigawa. As you say, I think, yeah, we're feeling that.
Absolutely. It's nice to see, though, as well, that kind of togetherness and sportsmanship like that, you know, to just go and check on her as well within the game. But I think both sets of teams really show a real togetherness. You know, they look like they really get on and they're friends on and off the pitch. And I think come the business end of the season, that's going to really be able to tell, you know, when times get tough, you know, who's going to stick together. And I think if you've got that kind of base, that's really important.
What I've heard from teams who are in difficult positions is that you can have those quite honest conversations with each other. And I guess you need to have those close relationships to be as honest as you need to be when it comes to battling for your survival. Gali trying to get onto the ball there. Comes out to Vignola. Gali, who's not too long back from a long injury.
Oh, it's been a shame this second half that Everton haven't been able to get Momiki into the game at all. And in those moments there, actually, for her, take a touch. She's gone to play 1-2 with Blundell, but actually she has time and space if she checks her shoulder to actually turn with it. And I think that has been the big difference as to why Aston Villa have been more on top this second half, is because Momiki hasn't been involved for Everton.
Ball is with Pacheco. Into the last 10 minutes now here at Goodison Park. A ball that was hoping to find Momiki. Now Vignola. Still there. Kitagawa, the player who was high on that left-hand side and looks up into the heavens.
Yeah, it's a half chance, really. It's a tough one to take. The ball's actually bouncing up as she goes to connect with it. She needs to try and hit it at its lowest point, get it on the half volley, and she hasn't been able to do that. But good that she's still trying to get on the end of it. You know what, we're 81 minutes into the game, but she's still full of energy, looking to get into the box in that full-back role.
Patton. Swonga will keep the ball in play. To Taylor. Out to Films. Forward from Patton. Kitagawa will make sure that Salmon doesn't get there and make sure that goes out in the end for a goal kick. 8 minutes left here at Goodison Park. Are Everton heading towards a first point in their new home, or has Natalia Arroyo got a plan to put Aston Villa back ahead in the late stages of this game?
Yeah, I'm trying to think who would be the happier of the two with a draw today. I think Aston Villa, having lost the last 2 games, competitive games, potentially will be okay to come away from home and pick up a point where they are in the table as well. I think for Everton, right now, they have to start winning more at home, you know, just to get that little gap between the teams in and around them.
Ball with Momiki. Infield from Wheeler to Mace. Comes back to Hansen. But Villa not even getting past halfway. Now with Everton, well, it looked like it was opening up for Kitagawa there.
Yeah, she's definitely had a lot of goalmouth action in the last few minutes, and credit to her as well, someone that is obviously comfortable on both feet, isn't afraid to have a go with her right foot as well. The execution is poor and it's off, it's let her down, but last few minutes, she's really got herself involved and in some good areas.
At 1 second, she's busy looking after Ebony Salmon at the other end of the pitch. And she's trying to give Everton maybe a late winner at the other.
What I like, though, as well, and credit to both teams, is that they're both looking to go and win the game. And I respect that a lot. You know, both teams want to get the 3 points. No one's trying to shut up shop now, and so I think that's great for the game.
Running forward is Salmon. Oh. Hansen tried to backheel it back into her path. I think both players acknowledging what they were trying to do with that latest move for Aston Villa.
Yeah, I still think there's going to be one big chance. I don't know what team it's going to be for, but including stoppage time as well. All it takes is 1 second to score a goal, and I think there will be a moment.
He took a little deflection.
Yeah, I actually thought that looked like more of a handball than any of the other calls today.
Yeah.
By Ruby Mace.
Now with nice Swonga. To Gali. To nice Swonga again, one of those players brought on to freshen up this Aston Villa side. She collects in a bit more space. Cross from that wing. With Wheeler. Well, neither side at the moment is holding on to the ball for any great period of time.
No, they're not. They look nervous, both teams do, I think. And I think you need your experienced players, you know, the players, technical players, to just get their foot on the ball and calm the game down. And just be patient and trust the process. Like I said, there will be a chance, and it's just about making sure you're patient enough to wait for the right openings. Don't force it, don't be desperate.
Garlic still racing forward. Pacheco is trying to stay onside, manages to do so. She collects the pass. Still with Pacheco. The angle's getting tight though. Turns it back to Vignola. Straight at D'Angelo.
Such a shame. I mean, Gali, it's brilliant play by Gali initially to play in Maz Pacheco. She has to trust her right foot. You know, it's on there to hit it first time with the right, and she wants to get it onto her left, and then that whole attack breaks down, and then really that shot from distance is never troubling D'Angelo. That was a big moment for Everton.
Spent 4 seasons at Aston Villa before making the move to Goodison Park at the end of her contract. Of course, former West Ham player as well, Maz Pacheco, very experienced player. Kitagawa is fouled, and the cheers will tell you that Everton have a late free kick.
Yeah, big moment for them. And again, it's whether or not they can make the most of it. There's not going to be probably too long in stoppage time. So I think this is really key that they get this and execute it well. They've looked a threat from set pieces today.
Mason Momiki again wait behind this free kick. A discussion before the ball is touched. Left to Mace. Mace to the far post again. It's Martina Fernandez, and she might well have won this for Everton. Her second goal of the game, Everton's second as we head into stoppage time. Our to win at Goodison Park. Martina Fernandez makes it Everton 2, Aston Villa 1.
I mean, I talked about that one moment, didn't I? And I said how important this was. And it was actually really clever because you can see here, they stop and delay. Villa then drop, which allows Fernandez again, but they will be so disappointed in that. First of all, I have to credit Everton for the execution. For Fernandez's finish from a tight angle as well. I talk about heading it down into the ground. But for Aston Villa, to allow the same player to be free back post for the second time, you can't allow that to happen, and it does. It looks like Everton are going to get their first ever win at Goodison Park, and what a 3 points this would be for Everton.
So 5 minutes at least of stoppage time. Obviously we've had changes in this second half. We had that little break in play for the injuries to Mamiki and Delonde, who ended up in the advertising hoardings. But now, what do Everton do, having got this late lead in this game? Is there an Everton bus that is being parked now, Tash, for these next 4 minutes?
Yeah, there absolutely is going to be. And I think you have to play the game, take it into the corner, time waste, make substitutions, whatever it is, whatever it takes to get these 3 points, whether it's ugly or not. That's the most important thing. And for Aston Villa right now, it just shows how tight this league is. This could be 3 losses in a row now, which is really bad form for them.
Substitution for Everton coming off number 20.
So Mamiki is the player who comes off, and Izzy Hobson is the player who is coming on.
Replaced by number 4, Izzy Hobson.
So that will answer our question about if Everton are going to shut up shop. They have taken off one of their more creative players, and they have brought on a defender, an academy graduate. She has scored a goal though, as an Everton player. Just doing my notes, she became the youngest ever goal scorer in the Barclays Women's Super League when she scored against Arsenal, which isn't a bad team to be able to score against. So 92 minutes on the clock, 3 left of the game at Goodison Park, and Tash Dowie, you have nominated your Barclays Player of the Match.
I think I've changed it 2 minutes ago. I was going to give it to Salmon, but it's got to be Fernandez, hasn't it? 2 goals, has been solid at the back, and has potentially got Everton 3 points at Goodison for the first time, so congratulations to her.
She's probably not the player that you would have expected to be scoring for Everton today, but she has got 2, and they might well lead to some very valuable points for Everton today. Now with Pacheco, D'Angelo drops onto that cross. Do Villa feel that there might be a late equaliser in this game? Ghali now on the ball. Probably will take it towards that corner flag.
And this is where the experience is so important. You know, it's Maz Pacheco delivering earlier. You know, just keep it, like I said, what Ghali's done there, and that's exactly why she's been brought on today. To see the game out.
Home fans enjoying themselves. I do feel for whoever has to bring that drum in.
I think as well, though, for Aston Villa, Liverpool away next and Spurs at home, some big games coming up for them, and they will be desperate to get the likes of Daly back. Nunes, who's been out for a while. Kendall has been so key for them in midfield. And they're missing some Missy Bo Kearns. So again, they're a team that have been hit hard with injuries.
As you say, Liverpool, and then the next home match for Aston Villa is against Tottenham. Everton go to London City Lionesses after this. Their next game at home is against West Ham. How important could the result be in that game? Into the last seconds here at Goodison Park.
Clever play by Hobson for someone of such young age. Just shielding the ball there, just feels the slightest nick and goes down, and then wins their team a free kick, and they can just reset, and Brosnan can put her foot through this and potentially could be the last kick of the game.
The ball just where Everton want it in the dying seconds. Forward to Grant. On back though by Wheeler. This would seal it if she gets a chance. Patton had other ideas, but Everton might well have already done enough. It's really up to the referee now to decide when to blow for full time, but when she does, you will hear a huge cheer from the Goodison Park crowd. Throw-in that finds Hayashi. Now with Pacheco. Still we play on. Films with the throw. Now, ball maybe bounced off the face of Kirsty Hansen. And that's it, the full-time whistle goes. And Everton can celebrate a first win of the season at Goodison Park. A big, big win for Brian Sorensen's side after Ebony Salmon had given Aston Villa the lead. 2 headed goals from Martina Fernandez, one from a corner in the first half. The second from a free kick in the second. And look what that means to this Everton team. Not just the win at home, but what those 3 points might mean. It has finished Everton 2, Aston Villa 1. Huge smiles and just maybe a sense of relief, Tash, from this Everton side. As I say, not just about the fact that they've kind of finally got a win at Goodison Park, but just how significant this victory could mean.
Oh, absolutely. I think so important, like I said, to get that first win at Goodison, to get the crowd back on side, and especially as well with the players that they do have missing. You know, I think really going into this game, you fancied Aston Villa to get the win, to be honest, but credit to Everton, they found a way, and I think this is so important with regards to building momentum as well. 3 points are massive when it comes to being down that bottom of the table, and you can see here that togetherness of the team as well, and how they've trusted the process. Potentially they haven't got the results that performance have actually deserved, you know, but they've trusted the process and what they're doing, and eventually they've got that win. But now it's about building on that. This league and this season can go up and down. You can see Aston Villa, who have started so well, now have lost 3 in a row. So, you know, one win doesn't really mean anything unless you go and then kick on from there.
It was 3 league losses for Everton before today. Their most recent win before today, that 1-0 victory at Chelsea. So they are unpredictable, let's say that, Tash.
Yeah, they absolutely are, and this league is unpredictable at the moment, but I think that's what makes it so great. There's so much going on down the bottom of the table, so many twists and turns, and there'll be more to come. And then another big game later on today, potentially, you know, could be a title decider, so it's great.
Yeah, Manchester City against Chelsea still to come on match day 14, as the Aston Villa head coach just has a few words with her team on the pitch before they start the journey home.
Yeah, they look deflated, and I think what's going to be so key now with regards to Natalia Arroyo is how she regroups them, because they've got some big characters in that Aston Villa changing room. And when things aren't going well, I think that's where, as a manager, that's where you earn your money, you know. She has to keep those players grounded, focused, because they've got the quality to absolutely change the form and turn the form around. But yeah, like I said, we spoke earlier, didn't we, about how your true character shows through the tough moments. This is where those Villa players now, their character will be tested.
So as the Everton players continue to celebrate on the pitch, we can hear from the Barclays player of the match, the scorer of the 2 goals for the home side, Martina Fernandez, who's with Steve Bennett.
Martina, congratulations, 2 goals for you today. Talk us through them.
Can you repeat again? I can't hear you.
2 goals today. Congratulations. Talk us through those goals.
Thank you very much. Ruby Mays in my head, easy.
Were you surprised that you were unmarked at the back post twice? Were you surprised that no one was marking you?
Well, Claire Wheeler in the first goal blocked me, and then Yaya in the second goal blocked me, so it's a team goal.
How important is that win today? 3 points here at Goodison Park.
Yeah, it's our first 3 points at Goodison Park, as you said, like, so special. I think we deserve it. We work hard a lot this season, and yeah, it's so special to give us confidence and keep pushing hard.
And what does that say about the character of the team? You came from behind to get that victory. What does that say about you guys as a group of girls?
No, we believe 90 minutes, we believe every single weekend, we give everything, and yeah, just like, I don't know, I'm so happy.
Martina, congratulations, you are the Barclays player of the match.
Thank you very much, thank you.
Thank you.
Hearing Martina Fernandez there saying, Ruby Mace, she provides the ball, I provide the header. And that was pretty much what she did today. It was a game plan that certainly worked. Let's remind us how Everton got this win at Goodison Park this afternoon. And it was after going behind, pass from Ruby Mace that was latched onto by Ebony Salmon to put Aston Villa ahead. Brilliant strike from the Aston Villa player. Then an opportunity from a free kick, perhaps, for an equaliser. Delonde almost with an own goal from a Mamiki free kick. The equaliser from Martina Fernandez, who was found at the far post by the Ruby Mace corner. And that was the goal that would make it 1-1. Villa with a break to see Hansen find Georgia Mullet to force a save and a block before lifting it over the crossbar. That an opportunity to put Villa back ahead here. And Vignola rattling the frame of the Aston Villa goal. As chances came at either end. Then that late free kick that found Martina Fernandez with seconds left of the 90. And Everton then knew that they had this match won. Hadn't picked up a point at Goodison Park before today, but now they have collected all three. And Martina Fernandez is the Barclays player of the match after those 2 goals. So this is how today finished for the matches that have been played so far. London City Lionesses with a 2-1 win at Brighton. Here Everton with that win against Aston Villa. And Everton will be pleased to see that Manchester United have beaten Liverpool 3-1. And Tottenham had the lead at home, West Ham had the lead at home against Tottenham, but Spurs with 2 goals to claim the victory against the Hammers. Manchester City against Chelsea is coming up soon. And this is how the table looks. And Manchester United with that win, obviously with Chelsea yet to play Manchester City, have moved in between those two sides. Liverpool still bottom, West Ham 11th. Everton have moved above Leicester, who haven't played this weekend. Their game against Arsenal has been postponed because Arsenal are in Champions Cup action this weekend. So Everton move up to 11 points. So that is it from Goodison Park. Everton, thanks to 2 headers from Martina Fernandez, get their first victory at their new home ground as it finishes Everton 2, Aston Villa 1.